Hello everyone, I'm River Fox and welcome to the channel. Now, if you have been following all of my videos on the Twine SSDs and the endurance builds, then this video will go alongside of those, where this is where I will show you all of the traps that I have used throughout all of my Storm Shield defenses and in my endurance builds as well. So we're going to go through each of the ones that I've got and all of the perks and everything that is set up on them. So let's get right into it. Okay then, so there are quite a few traps that I have used now for the builds and the SSDs. So the first one that we do have is the anti-air trap. Now these are brilliant for both your lobbers and for your flingers as well, and they will work as well on your endurance when you get the meteorite waves, the hot rocks. Then these will work as well. So the anti-air trap, we have gone with a range, a reload speed, a durability, another reload speed and a durability, and the last perk then we have left as heals attached building 4.8% of its max health every 10 seconds. So that is the anti-air trap. So you would have seen these placed on the tops of builds and the tops of lobby shields and things, just to help protect those. And next one along we do have is the broadside. Now these are absolutely brilliant, not only in trap tunnels where they are going to be constantly bouncing back and forth across walls, but they are also good for at spawn points and dealing quite high damage to husks as soon as they pretty much get in contact with the cannonballs. So for this one, it is a element physical with 44% damage. We have a crit rating, a reload speed, a second crit rating, a crit damage and a durability. So another brilliant trap definitely to use. Now another one you will see quite a lot in both the Storm Shield defenses and the endurance is the ceiling drop trap, the tire trap, which is currently the pretty much the best ceiling trap there is now. It is well overtaken from the gas trap, which you used to use quite a lot. The tire trap now is by far the best. So for the next one along we have is the ceiling electric field. Now these they are still pretty good to use as a ceiling trap. With the ceiling drop trap, now they will work anything up to 3 tiles high, whereas the ceiling electric field, they will work to 2 tiles high. So if you are going to have husks in an enclosed small space, then it is pretty good to use the ceiling electric fields instead of the tire traps. So for these we have got element energy and 20% damage, and we have gone with damage, reload speed, critical rating, another damage and a durability. So another brilliant ceiling trap. Now the ceiling gas trap, which used to be the absolute best ceiling trap ever, it did get nerfed a few updates back, where they no longer deal constant damage unless the husks are permanently underneath them. So these will work pretty well in conjunction with your tar pit traps or your freeze traps. If you are sort of freezing them in one spot and keeping them there for several seconds, then the ceiling gas trap will work absolutely brilliantly in causing constant damage all the while they are frozen. So for this one we have the element physical and 44% damage. We have critical rating, crit damage, durability, damage, and the final perk then is heals attached building 4.8% of its max health every 10 seconds. So that is your gas trap. Now the next one, which you probably have seen quite a bit in my builds, is the floor freeze trap. Another absolutely awesome floor trap, and this one again quite often you'll probably see under wall launchers or underneath the ceiling gas traps, things that will hold them in place while you wait for another trap then to do damage to them. And these can work extremely well, especially for smashers. So for this one, we have got 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, another 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, 42% durability, and 30% effect duration. So with that one then, it's going to give them quite a big knockback once they unfreeze themselves. But we've also got double reload, and we've also got some durability on there, and yeah, and the duration that it's going to freeze them for will be extended. So another brilliant floor trap. Now, one that you will probably see quite a lot in the builds is the floor launcher. Absolutely awesome and absolutely must have for most missions. These floor launchers will be a brilliant addition to any trap tunnels. So for these, we have got 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, and 2 lots of 42% durability. So it's going to make them last that bit longer. They will reload that bit much quicker and cause that much more impact and bounce, basically. Now with smashers, of course, after the update recently, that the launchers no longer will fling smashers into the air, which is a bit of a bummer because it was so much fun watching the smasher fling 10 foot in the air and land back down on the floor. It was awesome. But it will work pretty much for every other husk that there is. Any husky husks or normal husks, any husk pretty much will take some pretty good flinging with the floor launcher. Now the next one that we do have, now I don't use this very much at all. I haven't used this only for the fact that in the SSDs and the endurance I've tried to put the wooden floor spikes instead, because they will give a over time damage rather than a massive crit damage. So you won't see too many of these, but the retractable floor spikes is another very good floor trap. With this one, we've got the element physical and 44% damage, and we've got the 30% crit rating, 135% crit damage, 30% crit rating, 42% reload speed, and 42% durability. So that is the retractable floor spikes. Next one that we have now, which you will see these sometimes, but not too many of these. We do have the sound wall, which is a brilliant trap to have, especially at the beginning of a trap tunnel, where as soon as the husks come in, they will get hit by the sound wall, which of course makes them dance, and then they have more chance then of taking damage from other wall or ceiling or floor traps. So it's always a good idea to put these especially at the beginning of trap tunnels. So for this one, we've gone with the 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, another impact and knockback, another reload speed, a 42% durability, and a 30% effect duration. So it's going to basically last that bit longer with the time that they will be dancing, and so of course more damage they will take from other traps. Now another one then that you will see quite a lot in builds, because the tar pit is a brilliant floor trap to have, especially again at the start of trap tunnels, or underneath wall launchers, or under any trap that is going to give the husks a lot of damage. And with the tar pit, we have got a element fire and 20% damage, plus we have two 30% damages, and then we have three 42% durabilities. So they're going to be causing a fair bit of damage, but they are going to last quite a while as well. So especially being at the start of trap tunnels, they are going to be the ones that do get used the most, because the most husks will be going over that trap. So you do want to have quite a good durability on them. If you have got survivor squads and things set up with trap durability and trap damage on them, then this will definitely extend that even further. So the next one, and probably one of my favorite, one of my most used traps throughout the game, is wall launcher. And these again are absolutely brilliant for flinging those husks away. Although they won't fling a smasher into the air, they will at least give enough of an impact to be able to lob them over the side of a ramp or something to cause them to take damage from other traps. So launchers, wall launchers, absolutely brilliant. My most used trap in the game. So for this one, we have got a 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, another impact and knockback, another reload speed, another impact and knockback, and a 42% durability. So we got quite a lot of impact and knockback set there, and 2 reloads, which is going to make them, you know, reset that much quicker. So brilliant addition for any trap tunnel. Now, one that you will see a little bit not used overly often, but the wall lights is another good trap to have, especially if you are trying to slow and stun those husks in order for them to take damage from other damaged traps. So with the wall lights, we have gone with 15% impact and knockback, 42% reload speed, another impact and knockback, another reload speed, and then 42% durability and a 30% effect duration. So that is the perks for the wall lights. And another one then that we do use, or I do use quite a lot, is your wooden floor spikes. Now these, I prefer to use these than your retractable floor spikes, because with the wooden floor spikes they do have a lot higher durability on them anyway. So you don't need to have any additional durability perks on them. You can set all of them pretty much to damage perks. And the final perk on it is heals attached building, 4.8% of its max health every 10 seconds. So yeah, with the damage that comes out on these, and especially if you are recycling them with your wall or floor launchers, then they will be constantly going over and over the wooden floor spikes, which in the long run will end up causing a lot more damage than it would be if you used your retractable spikes as a one-off sort of damage to them. So that is why I use the wooden floor spikes a lot more. Now, one that I do use sometimes, especially on the backs of walls, if you are doing block off, you just want to make it a little bit stronger to prevent anything from getting through, then I will sometimes put wall spikes on the back. Now, the reason these are only on blue rolls is because no matter whether you have the blue rolls or epic or even legendary rolls to them, we are not using these for damage. So although I do have damage perks set there, it is only because you can't really change them to anything else. There's nothing else really that you can use it for. It is literally the last final perk that we will be using from this trap, and that's the heals attached building, 3.2% of its max health every 10 seconds. So we don't really, it doesn't matter what other perks you do have on them, and we won't be using these for causing damage, just to strengthen up the builds. Now, I haven't really used very much of the wall darts ever since we got the broadsides coming out. I pretty much use broadsides for most things now, so I haven't really leveled up my wall darts, and I haven't got round yet to leveling up my wall dynamos, although I will do them very soon. Now, I'll just briefly go through the flame grill trap. These are the perks that I've got set at the moment. I don't know, I may change them because I do want to level the flame grill traps up, although I don't use them very often, which is why, as you can see, they are still only 82s. I never never got round to leveling them fully. But if you do have a lot of nature husks in your missions or in your SSDs, then the flame grill traps can work pretty well. I just find, to be honest, that the tar pit or even the floor freeze trap will work, just as great. Yes, the floor freeze trap will mainly be for fire husks, but they can still freeze them. Even if you're not doing damage to the husk, then it will still freeze them and still cause some damage that way. The only other one that we have here is a ceiling zapper, and again, because I got all the electric fields and I got the gas traps and the ceiling drop trap, then I don't really tend to use the zapper either. So that is pretty much the only few traps that I don't really use that much. But that is definitely all of the traps that I have used for all of my Storm Shield defenses and my endurance builds. So I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to drop a like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, then please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. But until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.